got a fun one we're getting started on. We got Justin Miller's truck, one of my favorite 1450 Rangers. I love this thing, but got a lot of work on this in the past, and it's time. He wants some new front suspension, so we're gonna get a little bit of new design work in there, make everything adjustable, add some caster, fix the camber curve a little bit, do everything we can to just make it a lot more stout, stronger, and more just adjustable, so that way we can change the driving on this thing a little better, because it is a little bit of a handful. We also are down the road gonna make some trailing arms, because these are starting to get a little worn out. But let's get started by scanning this entire front suspension. Good old whip scissors. Let's get some hood rat whip scissors in there now. Today we are going to be developing we're going to be scanning Justin Miller's 1450 truck. We're going to be doing an all new front beam suspension, make it a little bit more adjustable. Right now he's locked in set, everything's kingpin, so we're going to go to a uniball and rod end setup. But the first things first, we're going to get everything scanned. Got a Creality scanner, so we're going to scan everything at ride height. And that's where I'm gonna start. I'm gonna get everything in Fusion so I can start kind of laying out the points I need to do. I might scan at full droop and full bump. I'm not entirely sure just yet, but I wanna at least get the bases at ride height, so that way I know where everything is. I know kind of where all the pivot's gonna be, where the shock's gonna sit at ride height, and I can make my adjustments there in Fusion when I start developing things. This is going to be a multi-part video, or series, I guess. So stay tuned. Any questions along the way, feel free to ask, but let's go ahead and get to scanning. All right, so we pretty much got the driver's side all kind of scanned, figured out. One of the things I'm mainly scanning for is pickup points, whether it be the shocks, beams, spindle, all of it, steering. Beams do have a lot of moving parts, so I just want to make sure I have all that figured out, because we're not doing a full, completely, totally redesign. I'm not reinventing the wheel, just making something that's going to be stronger, a little bit more stout, and fully adjustable, so that way the truck can be a little bit easier to drive, depending on where it's racing, what course, all that kind of stuff. I want to be able to throw a little bit of caster in it if needed, or take caster out. Same with change the camber curve throughout the travel, because again, it's beam, so it's just a dumbbell, just moving around like that. But depending on where everything's at for ride height is where I kind of want to set the camber to be either zero or maybe just a little bit negative or positive, whichever, depending on where it's racing. So like a track like Race of the River, that's shorter. I like a little bit more positive camber, but that's on an A-arm truck. Something longer, rougher, something I'm gonna go zero. And it's just kind of playing around with it. But as you see here, we have kind of the driver side. I got the shock pickups. If you go underneath, we have the radius arms going to the beams, as well as the outer knuckle and all that kind of stuff. I'm gonna go with uniball bottom, rod end top. That's kind of what I'm planning with on both radius arm and the beam. But this is gonna be a fun one to design, fun one to make, and hopefully get Justin a much easier driving truck and ultimately a faster truck. That's the goal here, is to go faster. So keep following along. I'm going to go ahead and scan the other side now and get that kind of figured out. It's sometimes going to be fast with scanning, sometimes going to be slow, but ultimately it's beneficial. Everything I do now is I just scan it first before I even touch it. If it's small enough, I might do just measurements, draw it up in CAD, but now with having the ability to scan, I just go in, scan it, import it into Fusion, start drawing parts. All right, we got everything I need scanned. I got shock pickups, radius arm pickups, beam pickups, steering linkage, all of it. So now what we can do is we'll actually mesh this together, so that way it's a full solid STL file, and then I can put this on over to Fusion, and then we can start actually getting it centered, and then I will start creating all my planes and pickup points that I need. And then once I have that, I can start kind of playing with cycling, just with basic lines. Doesn't actually have to be final parts. Once I have that figured out, then I can actually start fully designing each part specifically, and I will do my best to film as much as I can and document as much as I can. But we got everything needed here. There's a lot of stuff in here. Let's get it. So we have everything located in Fusion now. I didn't film all that process because there was a lot of figuring stuff out, but I have all my new geometry I want set compared to the old one. So I mainly scanned the old setup just to find out where everything is sitting at as far as like different caster settings, camber settings, all that kind of stuff, and then figuring out the travel as well. And then from there, I just changed what I wanted to change as far as adding more caster, because from side to side they were off a lot. The shock lengths were off as far as mounting on the bottom of the bottom of the Y pass, and coilover side to side were about a 7/8 of an inch difference. So now I still have the scan in here on Fusion, but I have everything located as far as shocks. I have everything located for hubs, steering, all that kind of stuff. And I just drew kind of just some basic, just dimensions of where I want everything to go. And then from there, I can move on and actually build the actual parts. So, but to, whichever. This is hard to explain, but I'm trying to do the best I can. So this is kind of where we are at. We have our 16-inch shocks. I got everything to as close to zero bumps here as I can throughout the travel. So now, as you can see, everything cycles fine. We do that, and then we can go up here and then check steering as well. And steering, we have a lot more angle that we were able to get away with just throughout the new geometry of everything that we did. Ackerman is what it is. I would like to make it a little better, but it is beam suspension, and I'm trying not to reinvent the wheel. I am just trying to make a new kit that way Justin can drive and win some more and go faster, because realistically that's the whole point of why I do things, and why any of us do things with all the clinical and hood wrap, is how do we make things better and faster and stronger and last longer and allow you to go faster, all that kind of stuff. So this is kind of where we're at, but we are going to end this video here. So please like, comment, subscribe. Specifically subscribe, we could use your help. I love answering questions in the comments as well. So if you guys have any questions about process of how we do things, or any other thing that you can think of, just feel free to ask a question. I'd love to answer them. And thank you guys for watching. I hope this is something that could be entertaining, but this is the process, and the next step now is to actually make the physical parts. So we will keep moving forward on this project through a multi-part kind of episode series, because there is a lot of work to be done. So the next step is going to be full design, all the actual parts and plate work and all that kind of stuff. I already have some drawn, just snout block, stuff like that. But we're getting along better, and I think Justin's got 2 more races before this actually goes on. So we have some time, and yeah. So again, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching.